I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you actually
Yeah, Wi-Fi money, man.
Isn't that amazing?
I love that term.
What's the biggest L you've taken?
Yeah, I took like a $65,000 L.
I mean, all of us, we probably paid over a 4-year degree
Yes.
in losses trying to learn.
Dude, it's about how bad you want it.
SPY is tearing it up right now, man.
I'm no better than the next furu, as they call them, right out there. Like, I'm just out here trying to make it, right? Yeah.
I'm in points. I'm like, let's go,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Moral of the story, they don't want you to get in when you think it's going to get in.
No.
Yeah,
They want you to get in when it's already gone.
exactly.
So you lose all your money.
Guys, you have to pay yourself. Like, you have to pay yourself. All right, let's get it. What's going on, guys? Episode 2. Glad to be back. Glad to have some new faces here. We got Mohammed, Mo, Magnet Mo is with us, guys. We also have Dimitri and Options Dr. Ryan. So we're in Manhattan. We're filming episode 2, and this is going to be more of a conversation and just us vibing out, guys. So we're going to be going over different experiences and different obstacles we had to overcome and pick everyone's brain here. So it's nice to have a powerhouse like this with me. I honestly appreciate you guys being here.
Man, it's an honor sharing this podcast with you guys. Thank you for the invite. I truly appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time.
Gotcha, man.
What a vibe New York
Yeah,
has been, huh?
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I see why you're here, Dimitri. This is amazing.
I love it, man.
Really? Yeah.
Dude, we were just talking about that at dinner last night. Like, what a journey, right?
Crazy.
Like, we would have never met each other. Like, this community is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
So tell me a little bit about that, because one of the questions that we got in our chat was everybody wanted to know, what was the first step in changing your life? And what they meant by that was, what was the first time you knew trading is really changing the way your perspective is on life and changing the way everything's handled day to day?
You can go first, right?
for me, 85-hour weeks. I was living in paradise, working my ass off, and I didn't even get to enjoy where I was. I was in paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And, the cost of living there was high. I was getting paid well, but it wasn't the lifestyle I wanted. So, I've been in the market for probably close to a decade, but when I jumped full-fledged into it, my trading changed immensely, right? Because you're relying on making money, putting food on the table. You play it safe. But being in that spot from the come up, knowing what you had, or what you started with, game changer.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you actually
You
actually hit it straight on. So,
No, dude,
personally, for me, I knew this is changing my life because I had so many hobbies, like outside of this. And once I realized this is a hobby that I can truly monetize, I was like in full go mode. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take it very seriously and just approach it head on. And I realized it's addicting, man.
Buddy.
Like, it sucks you in, does it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary though too.
It is. That's what people don't. That's what people underestimate too. They don't understand. Like, some people are very successful at trading. Some people make a lot of money, but the risk that we have to all do every single day. Like we go to work and it's not here's your paycheck. It's like I may lose money today. How much money am I going to lose today? Nothing's guaranteed in this industry, especially when it comes to making money.
Well, how about like your first big score, right? Do you remember what it was? I think I made like $5,000 on like some YOLO 0 days, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was trying to do it again and hit it again, and I think I gave that 5,000 back 10 times.
Oh yeah.
Just but that's how it sucks you in. Like you think you're like, holy cow, I could do this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All the time.
Crazy world.
Yeah, man, the idea of just making money all over the world in the fingertips of your laptop and everything is just wild. So that's what intrigued me, because I just for like 8 years I was just in the retail space. Like I'm in the optical world, so it's like you have to be at a set location to make money. So like it really intrigued me of just pop a laptop, press a couple of buttons, you can make $1,000. That's just wild.
Yeah.
It's
Love
all,
that.
it's like what we call Wi-Fi money.
Yeah, Wi-Fi money, man.
Isn't that amazing?
I love that term.
Like, and I come from immigrant parents, and what they had to sacrifice to get here is mind blowing, right? Like, dropping everything to come here. And, with my dad being in the United States Navy, and he's working hours in days, months where I wouldn't see him. You know, and you have a military background, you know what that's like, right?
Yeah.
So being able to make this Wi-Fi money just blows my mind because I know the sacrifices that my parents had to make just to get to this country. And so, man, I love every bit of it. One thing I want to touch on, it just came through in the chat. They say, you know, well, with trading being so amazing, how do we manage our emotions?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
Because here's the thing. We're not robots. So I see this all the time online is they say, oh, get rid of your emotions from the trade. Be emotionless. We can't. That's what makes us human.
Yeah.
We have emotions. We're going to feel pumped when we get that trade right. And we're naturally going to feel down when we get it wrong. People are looking up to us to get these signals right.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of liability on our shoulders. It's a great responsibility for us as a team to come together. Not only, and what people don't realize is we have to sync with each other, but we have all different trading styles.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to
Most
sync with
people
each
do,
other,
yeah.
and then we have to get the trade right for everybody else. So me personally, how I manage my emotions is I have what's called a mental trading map. So I journal how I feel when a trade went down, when it went bust. We get them wrong. I don't have a 100% win rate.
Yeah. No one
Right?
does. Yeah, of course.
Right. And then I journal how it feels when I got the trade right. And you know what I'm talking about. Those bangers, those magnet bangers, right? The 100%, 200% when the magnets are going my way, right?
Yeah.
I write that down and I journal. And I think it's important for traders, traders, to all realize you must journal.
Yeah.
You're not going to get rich overnight. And if you do get rich overnight, it's going to leave you as soon as it came.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's how I manage my emotions. Tell me a little bit about what you think.
Okay, so for me, it's down to a science because I've been trading for so long, and you make a lot of money and then you lose a lot of money. So what I have done to handle my emotions is I make sure that every trade, I know how much I'm willing to risk off the bat. Before I enter the trade, I know how much I'm going to risk. If I'm going to risk $1,000, $2,000 a trade, right? So I buy in, I know where I'm going to buy, I know where I'm going to sell, and I know where I'm going to stop out. That's what makes me be able to handle my emotions, because once I'm in the trade, I know I have to take profit here, and I know I have to exit here for a loss. So that's how I do it. And
Perfect.
I think that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's no emotion once you're in the trade, because you're like, okay, I'm risking this amount of money, and
Right.
just off the
And
bat.
You know, guys, that's exactly what it looks like. What you're hearing right now, that's called a roadmap. We're in New York right now. We would not have got here without GPS. You know, we had something
Exactly.
guiding us to get to this building where we're at and providing you with this podcast. So
100%.
maybe Dimitri might know how to get here.
Yeah.
But hey, we certainly didn't, right?
I
So
use
we
the
had
Waze
a-
also.
Buddy,
man.
the way this guy, he bodies the
Yo.
streets. I'm like, where are we? He's just no GPS. He just goes.
Right. And so tying that back into trading, you got to have a roadmap. Just as Steve said, you got to know how much you're going to risk and leave it at that. Take the loser, get the ego out of it. We can't remove our emotions, but we can remove our ego.
Yeah.
All right? We
Knowing
can
when
manage
you're
it.
lost.
Exactly.
Knowing when to stop out.
I'm going to lose 1,000. You just lost 1,000, okay? You're on 0 DTEs, all right? And it went the wrong way. You lost 1,000. Out, done. Go touch some grass, right? As Steve would say. What's your take on it?
Lightening your size. That's it.
Yes.
If you're in 1 to 5 contracts, you're a newer trader, you cut 10% loss on 5 contracts, you're not losing sleep over it. You know, you get knocked down, hit it on the next trade. You always say it in live stream, it's like repetitive.
Yeah.
And you always tell these guys, like, don't ever go from green to red, right?
Yeah.
If you lose in one trade, you should be able to make it back in your next trade.
100%.
So-
But that's what I find people struggle with the most, is because they'll do what I say to do, like entry, exit, stop loss. But when they're taking that loss, sometimes they hold a little longer, like, oh, it's okay, it'll bounce back up, or let me add a
do
little
it,
bit in.
yeah.
And that's how you end up making a small loss that was pre-planned into a big loss. And it could be catastrophic in some cases, right? We've all been there. I've done some stupid stuff, blow up an account for no reason. You know what I mean?
You know, for me, what I experienced is a lot of traders or just investors, they take the money that they can't lose and they just throw it in the market. And that's where the emotions come in.
Yes.
But like, can you imagine like you just have like a spare $10,000 and you really don't really need it? I don't think that there would be emotions in it because you really don't need it. So a lot of people like, can you imagine swiping your credit card in order for it to trade? Or like you can't really afford like your gas bill or your rent, and you just put it in the market hoping that in 20 days you'll hit it. That's where like emotions hit.
Right.
So a lot of people make the mistakes where it's like, hey Mo, hey Steven, can I borrow like 10 grand? I want to put it into the market. I'll pay you back in 30 days. And then like you lose
I've
10,
done that
20%.
so many times.
Yeah,
thinking I could like, I have like to pay my mortgage or pay whatever I have to do. I'm like, it's okay. I'm gonna make money off this money, and I'll be able to pay. It'll be paid for itself. And I'm like,
I'm speaking out of experience also. Like I blew up my parents' money. I blew up my wife's money.
story of
And
my
that's
life.
like where the emotions kick in. But like
100%.
if you have money that you really don't need, which honestly it is like rare for a lot of people to have that. If you don't, I'll just advise don't trade.
or
Just
go
don't
fund it.
trade.
Go fund it.
Or the Apex funding account. That's
safest
like
thing to do.
brilliant and it's safe. It's like for like $20 you could get like $100,000. So
And I want to touch on that, guys. Is that this is why I personally preach is that do not simulate trade, do not paper trade. When you're paper trading, you are unable to feel the raw emotion of a trade because it's paper money. It's not real. It's a simulation, right? I like to teach everybody in our chat. I like to let them know, feel that raw emotion. All right. So people ask us right now, there's a question, they're asking us, how long does it take? How many times have you heard this? How long does it take to become profitable? How many times, right? And it's fine. I was there too. I was that guy in the chat typing it to every new, mentor that I met. Bro, how long before I'm going to actually start making money?
How many contracts was that?
Right.
I get
How many
that message
contracts?
a lot.
When do I get out? Right. So the question that someone just posed is they were like, how long before you become profitable? And my take on it is that treat year one as a complete learning experience. Even if you're making money, even if you're making money, treat year one as a complete learning curve. Whether you're losing or winning, focus on the habits that are building your consistency. Focus on the emotions that you're journaling. Write these things down and study them. Study them like you would a chart. Then after year one, you're able to build on these habits. You're able to take everything that you've learned, you study it, and then year 2, 3, 4, from there, you have now a foundation. This foundation is now something that you can build on. What's your take on it, Steve?
Okay, so whoever asked that question didn't phrase it properly because it's not how long does it take to become profitable, it's how to be continuously profitable.
Yes.
Right? Because everyone wins trading.
Right.
It's just your losses, a lot of people's losses outweigh their wins.
Right.
So, and that just comes down to risk management.
Right.
It's just like, this is what I'm risking and this is what I'm going to make on the trade if it goes my way, and this is where I'm going to cut it for a loss.
Right.
And you need to have a system in play.
Absolutely.
You can't just enter every trade like if we're all on live and we're giving out bangers the entire freaking time, right? And then when someone has to do it by themselves, they lose money.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
it's a marathon, I say. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
You got to continuously like follow the art and be disciplined in this game. Just like Steve said, you could win a couple of trades, but then you could just blow up your whole account and boom, your emotions kick in, and then your confidence, it's either lackluster or like you got to have the confidence. In my opinion. So there's a lot of varieties. I wouldn't say even one like year 1 to 4 would be profitable. You can't expect like a lawyer to be a lawyer within 3-4 years. You got to get the education. Same thing with the stock market, in my opinion. Like you can't just be a trader within the first year. There's a lot of learning. It's mostly psychology, and I feel like it's 90% discipline, 10% execution. You gotta know yourself, change yourself, and really like know yourself. So
True, right?
Yeah, man.
Everybody's got their own path too, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no hard data. You're not gonna get like I did this for this many weeks and this is how I'm profitable. The market changes every single day, as you know. all of our tactics change with the market, and you just have to adapt. That's what it circles back around to, is managing your risk.
Absolutely.
While we're on this topic right now, I want to know, what's the biggest L you've taken and why?
I'll start with this.
All right. My dude.
It depends who's going to be watching this podcast.
Yeah, right.
So
Oh no, my wife knows. It was, I think, 3 years ago, and I was a gambler. God blessed me with a lot of money, so I always like made a lot of money, but like I always gambled. And my wife bought tickets to the Maury show, I remember, and we were in Connecticut live at the Maury show. And the day before, I bought like $300,000 worth of Netflix shares, and they literally like released earnings,
Oh, shit.
and the stock just like plummeted.
Yeah.
And the next day, it just keeps plummeting and plummeting and plummeting. And I'm just like looking at my phone, holding it, and just hoping for it to just change. And I took like a $65,000 L,
Jesus Christ.
like literally in one day, and my mood was just shot.
yeah, that's tough.
And it was super tough. I didn't understand what the hell I was doing. I'm like, I'll make it back at work, which I always did. I always made it back at work. But it's like, you could avoid those losses.
100%. Yeah, especially someone holding Tesla.
So yeah, 65,000 was my biggest loss.
Earnings, bro.
Yeah, that's
Earnings is a gamble.
That's it. Don't
Earnings.
don't
You
play.
can't, you know.
But I made much more in one day when you get the art, when you get the education. Literally this year, actually, like I think you and I, Steve, we killed it in
Dude,
the
we
beginning of the
murdered
year.
it.
Yeah.
Murdered it.
I made
so-
the most amount of money in 3 months than I did. It was my biggest
Same
year, and
here.
it was 3 months in.
Same here. So once you get the art, it's just like,
That
it
was when
just
the puts
goes.
were just printing, man.
Puts were
We're doing
printing.
like October puts, and me and him, it was so easy at one point.
Yeah.
As soon as it went up, me and Dimitri on the same path. We just swung puts, wake up 10, 20 grand, swung puts again, wait for the best level, get it again. It was like on
I
rinse
remember
and
it was like a
repeat,
big
man.
dick contest between Jim, me, Will, and Steve. Like 9:30 hits, and we would just post screenshots. Like, look how much I made. Look how much I made. Look how much I made.
100%.
And on the flip side of that, that's how calls have been this month.
Yeah.
On the ride up from 410.
That's
So
scary though.
straight up.
Yeah,
In
it's
the
stupid.
history of the stock market, in 100 years, it's never gone up this much percent. 12% in what, 10 days?
Buddy. Did you take advantage
Never.
of it?
Of course.
Yeah, I did.
Of course. Now I'm gonna say I,
I was
swung-
waiting for the downtick.
I know you were.
I
No,
take my
know.
10 cents.
No, I swung
and calls
twice.
fucking $5. Like,
I didn't swing every time, but you mentioned education, right? You mentioned
Education is very key.
So
I'll be honest with
let
you.
me ask you guys, on the beginning of your trading journey, what are some books that you read, right, to help you get started? I'm going to mention mine is that one of the books was Charting and Technical Analysis by Fred McAllen. Very simple book for all you newbies out there, for all you beginners. I once was obviously a beginner, and it really helped me look at the charts and understand what I'm seeing in front of me. What's a book that you recommend?
I can't even cap. I didn't
doesn't
any
read.
books.
Okay.
I can't even lie. Like, that's it. Honestly, I did my own homework, man. I was that guy on YouTube every day. As soon as the stock market's on, I'm watching YouTube videos all day. And random people, like whether they have 5 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, I was taking notes on everything because I went through like a hard time that I was finding myself like not profitable. And when I would lose it literally the next day or the next trade. So I was like net neutral. I'd win big, lose big, and at the end, I was always net neutral.
Plateaued.
And the easiest information out there is on,
Absolutely.
especially for people that are not like that don't like reading, like myself. I'm more of like a visual learner, so when I see the videos and I can pay attention because I can relate. You know what I mean? So for me, no book, but I know a lot of people like yourself. He's told me to get this book 100 times, but I'll see if they have an audio file.
What about you?
I like psychology books.
Yes.
Technical books, they're good, but the market just evolves and it kind of leaves it in the past, especially in the world of options, right?
Yes.
But like Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Yes.
like what's wealthy to you? What living in your means, your way of life. You could be wealthy and make $50,000 a year and feel wealthy if you're living in your means, right?
It's all in
Yeah.
perspective.
You could be
It's
poor
true. Yeah.
if you're making $500,000 a year, but your bills are through the roof, you're in debt, you're not happy. So psychology books for beginners, I think, would probably be the go-to. and then you start getting into the advanced technicals. Like you just need chart time, right?
Yeah, it's eyes. It's the amount of time your eyes are on the chart. That's why all of us, except for you, us three are mainly SPY, right?
Yeah.
Mo, you expand.
Bro, I love everything. Another good one for psychology, because you touch on a real good book about wealth. Another good one on psychology of trading is the book is called The Mental Game of Trading. So guys, if you haven't checked that out yet, definitely check that out. Regardless of what level of trading you're at, I think we can all make it another go at that, is to check out The Mental Game of Trading.
Yeah, I think
it's a really good book.
Yeah, I think we should write a
psychology.
book though.
No, I'm with you on that though, Steve. Like I'm not into
I'm dead ass
literature.
serious. Like the amount of information we have, we should do like a picture pop-up.
To tell you the
book.
truth,
Pop-up
YouTube,
book.
Yeah.
YouTube has
And that's
I'm
why they
dead
called
serious,
it. That's
man.
why they call it YouTube University, right?
Yeah.
Is because
Yeah.
you have unlimited information, and the tuition that you're paying is with your time. It's not monetary.
My tuition
So-
was losses, probably.
Yes.
I mean, all of us, we probably paid over a 4-year degree
Yes.
in losses trying to learn.
Dude, it's about how bad you want it.
Yeah.
Like my mentality is like my entire life, like no one can outwork me. Like all of us, like we're obviously all here for a reason, right? Like that's why
Right.
I'm friends with you guys, because we relate, and that's how all of us are. We're go, right?
Yeah.
And you will become successful, but how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Like when you're done trading for the day, are you drinking alcohol? Are you
Depends on the
like
day.
just going out and doing? Yeah, 100%. I agree. I got a whiskey bottle on my desk, but I'm
Or a
joking.
cigar, right?
But it's like, how bad do you want it? Like when the market's done, up to this day, I'm educating myself further. Like, how can I be a better asset to myself? How can I help myself in the future? Like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It matters what you do with your money. So even up to today, I'm looking at the best investments, long-term, stock market, like whatever it is. Like I'm always preparing myself, just like you guys. And it all comes down to how bad someone wants it. You can't teach anyone hustle, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you want it, you can get it. We've all did it. I was a construction worker. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a very good pivot point there, is that you were a construction worker. You still found time to trade. There's a stigma out there, guys, on the interwebs, right? There's a stigma out there that, you can't work a 9 to 5 and trade at the same time. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. You can work a 9 to 5. You can have a corporate job. You can have any kind of job, and you can still find time to trade. And it all comes back down to how hard are you willing to work? How much time are you willing to put in the game, right?
100%. And anything. It's
You can
anything
set-
with
yeah,
life.
you can
right?
set your price targets. You
Exactly.
can set your alerts, and you can still trade. You don't have to sit there on the screen
Yeah.
and follow every single candle that you see pop up.
Yeah.
Just
And with
depends
that-
what cycle you're trading.
Yes. What was that? Repeat that again.
Just depends on what cycle you're trading. Like
Exactly.
you, I think all four of us were in the intraday based cycles, where it's like we just follow the daily chart and the minute chart
Yes.
or the 30-minute chart. Like the people that are 9 to 5, I feel like they should just look at the broader perspective of the daily to the weekly charts, because there's cycles within cycles.
Yeah.
So just if you want to do options, focus on like 3 months
Yes.
apart, 3 months like further.
Yeah. Especially if
And-
you can't sit and watch the chart.
Yeah, for sure. And I would always recommend never follow the herd, because the following the herd, you'll always be wrong. So if SPY is going down, wait until like a pivot point and just get like calls for 3 months up, and just turn off your phone, turn off whatever you're trading with, and there you go. That's trading for you.
Yeah.
So you could definitely do it at a 9 to 5 basis. It just depends what cycle you want to trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I agree.
And then you know what they say: when in doubt, do what? When in doubt,
Zoom out,
zoom out.
man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in doubt, zoom out, guys. You can still. So many people, man, and I respect everybody out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm no better than the next furu, as they call them, right out there. Like, I'm just out here trying to make it, right? But they say that right now is a very bad market conditions for swing trading.
Oh, of course.
And I've got a guy to my left here. I got Dimitri here, and he's such a phenomenal swing trader. And we have another counterpart. He couldn't make it today. And Jim, he's a phenomenal swing trader. Guys, if you read your candlesticks and you just zoom out, you can take a swing trade. And you can take it confidently, and you can still work your 9 to 5. I started off trading while working a 9 to 5. And I was able to leverage that money I'm making from my salary to then put it more and more into day trading, and then finally come to a point where I'm comfortable and say, hey, I'm going to leave this 9 to 5 and I'm going to go all in. I'm going to bet on myself. And that's the mentality you have to have, is you got to be able to bet on yourself. You got to be able to leverage your skill sets to then take those and just say, you know what, it's all me from here.
Yeah.
And then meet like-minded individuals. Have a strong circle. You know, when I first met Steven, I knew, okay, this is somebody that I want to be around. You know, I just met Rye, and I already understood. Like, you know, we were talking at breakfast today, and I was like, yo, look, like, when you pulled that card out with the QR code to the chat, I was like, all right,
My
yeah,
dude, man.
Sales pitching you
and
at
I was
dinner.
like, hey, that's amazing.
I got the Uber driver last night bringing me to dinner
Yeah.
to sign up.
Did
the
you?
whole way there, I sales pitched him the whole way there.
My dude.
And then and Dimitri, I mean, how can he not love me, right? I'm Packy. So no, me and Dimitri hit it off right away. And that's why we're here, right? This is because all of us, we hit it off right away. And that's my guy right there. And so no, I was laughing with him earlier because of the beard. The Uber was coming, and you know, it's under my name. It says Muhammad, right? And I was like, you know, they're gonna ask you, like, wait, what are you doing getting in? It's New York, you know. I was like, bro, just tell him you're Muhammad too. You got the beard already. He was like, a white Muslim? What? I was like, bro, it's New York. You never know.
It makes
But
it way
no.
more funny if you're staring at the guy right now.
Right? Yeah. No, but no. In all seriousness, guys, you know, create that circle that you can rely on. In your workplace, you've got your work buddies, and you rely on each other to get through the times where you're uncertain. Same with trading. Once you're able to take it full time, find like-minded individuals, find a community. It could be ours. It could be anyone you find. Whatever relates to you, try them all out. You know, that's part of your market tuition, and see what works best for you. And that's what makes our community so unique. Is we've got people from all walks of life. We've got moderators with different trading styles, and it all seems to mesh together in this organized chaos. And that's what I absolutely love about these guys. And I love the direction where we are headed. You know, not to hype it up, but things are up, bro.
Yeah.
Things are up.
Speaking of up, what do you guys think?
SPY is tearing it up right now, man.
like, you think we're gonna see new highs?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yes.
Presidential re-election, we're going to see a lot.
And
Highs.
he hit it right on the head. Is the presidential reelection?
Oh, yeah, man.
Biden's got to look good, right?
He's got to look
Yeah.
good. As long as
Gotta
as
look
long
good.
as he looks good, we're good.
The more you guys talk, is the more bearish I become.
Yeah,
Because
retail.
everyone thinks like that.
But it's the truth. We will have a crazy pullback, I
Yeah.
feel like. But
gonna
all
be
in all,
scary.
because
Yeah.
of Biden, he has to look good, man.
Yeah.
So
We're
it's all
coming up on some
manipulation.
important trend lines, like the COVID trend line.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we've just tapped the COVID trend line. So naturally, we're going to have a retracement,
Yeah.
but we are going to see new highs.
You would think, right? That I've been thinking that for the past month.
No,
And
no.
I've
So
seen it just.
Yeah,
It's just been it's been a rocket
If you follow
ship.
Fibonacci, right, you're gonna have a natural retracement. We're gonna see about like a 20% pullback. You know,
Yeah.
from when we launched off 409, then we're gonna go right back up, and we're gonna see 463. And it's in the magnets that we coded, so it's written right there in front of us. You know, I saw 430 pull up last time I was live with Steve. I saw 430 pop up, and then but at the same token, I saw 463 pop up.
So how are you going to take that trade? How are you planning? Like, what's your game plan?
So my game plan right now is I swung puts, right?
Okay.
So I swung puts.
Yeah.
But I know that the puts I swung aren't nearly as heavy as the intraday trades I'm going to take, which are going to be long.
Yeah.
So does that make sense? Like I'm hedging, but I'm still going to make my money as I read the charts in front of me. The puts are just some padding.
Yeah.
It's play money.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
There's a
For
lot
me,
of
I
gas.
try not to speculate. I'm sorry,
No,
Ryan.
you're good.
Yeah, like I always tell everybody, don't speculate. Trade what you see, not what you think.
Yeah.
Trade with trend lines, not with like social media. So
But everything is saying bullish.
everything,
I'm not buying it.
everything is saying bullish. I'm 100% cash, except some SPXS shares. It's
That's
very
really
safe.
not heavy.
I don't know
So,
what
Guys, say a
timeline-
little bit.
I don't know what time, what feed you have on, but my entire feed is bearish. My entire
Really?
feed. I'll show you. Everybody on my feed is bearish. They're like, "Oh, bro, it's overextended. It's overextended. We've got RSI and MACD is curling." And let me set the record straight with this RSI and MACD. Those are lagging indicators. Once the price action's already happened,
Yeah.
then they start to curl and they start to do these other things, guys. The only indicators you need is a 4 min right in front of you right now. Let me just set the record
Yeah,
straight,
that's-
okay? These are your indicators.
No.
These guys are my indicators, first of all. I take full advantage of have our team for sure.
I appreciate the conviction. Like when I'm like about to sell, and Dimitri will be like, I'm holding runners, and then the thing just ends up going.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love about the group.
No, Dimitri's
100%.
master at
You
that.
see something, and then I see.
Brian does
If I
that a
see
lot.
one of you guys like it's usually Dimitri. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm in puts. I'm like, let's go,
Yes,
baby.
yes. It's that confluence you have is that you're using your own market analysis, and then just a little icing on top is Dimitri coming in with his Ichimoto clouds and saying, "Yo, bro." It's have you used that? Is that the clouds you use? Ichimoto? Yeah. So
Don't give out the sauce, man.
No. Hey, bro. They don't know how to use them yet. We're gonna teach them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll teach them how to use them.
Now, I'm a big fan of indicators, but as you
Yes.
said, a lot of indicators are lagging indicators. That's why I have 12 of them. So,
Yeah.
so,
So they won't.
so one lags, one leads. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's price action. Everything's
really
price
is,
action.
yeah.
You got to look at the chart. The chart is making higher highs, higher lows, or lower lows, lower highs. And as Gundy always says, if it breaks structure, boom, let's do it.
Yeah.
So
Market structure is very important.
it's all about market structure. It's all about just looking at the charts. But number one thing I always say and preach, just be patient, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be patient.
and discipline.
Yeah.
And that's with all throughout your life, right? Like day by day, if you're not patient and you're not disciplined in other aspects of your life, how do you expect to just sit in front of a screen and all of a sudden be the most patient, most disciplined?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you have to practice it all throughout the day,
Yeah.
24 hours, 7 days a week. And we're not perfect, right? I'm not the most disciplined guy out there, but I work on it daily. And by me working on it as a father, I'm able to practice it and take that into transitioning into trading.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's get back to those losses. I want to hear you guys' story.
Yeah, for sure,
I
man.
want this guy first.
Well, where do you want me to start with the Tesla earnings?
Biggest losses, my man. Biggest money losses.
By the way, I know exactly what he's gonna say. I just want to put him on blast for a little bit.
I mean, I'm still holding shares, but I did buy Tesla calls on earnings. I thought it was going to push.
When it was at 250.
No, buddy.
3.
Oh,
When it was when somebody, I'm not going to mention his name, but said, you know, there was a lot of money in calls to the upside to push 300, and man, that thing went to like 230 that week.
Yeah, it was literally. Did it even cracked 300? Right?
Yeah.
Just
It
barely.
like touched it, and then it just ran.
Yeah.
And I mean, thank God I bought shares.
Is that your biggest hell?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even burns more when you're like do this for a living, right? And you're profitable, and you're like,
But that's
Just
why, like, so,
gambling like that,
but like,
just-
right? But that's why you buy shares too.
Yeah,
So you
100%.
have the potential. So I can hold this now until I'm probably 2026 at this point. But,
maybe if I could give it to my grandkids.
but yeah, that was rough. And then I, like, intraday L's would be from just adding to 0 days,
Oh,
trying to dig myself out, and
100%.
they go so fast. And you know, you can be down 5, and then next thing you know, you're down 11, 12, and you want to triple down to try to get your average price down just to make 10 cents to get yourself out close to break even.
Yeah.
And then it runs the other way, and next thing you know, you're sitting at your computer like, oh my God, what did I just do? I
Yeah.
could have just took a $5,000 L, now it's 20.
Yeah, cheat for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yo, okay, sorry, you go first.
So my biggest L was my biggest W in one day that turned into my biggest L the same day. And so you guys are familiar with Lucid.
Yeah.
Okay. So to be clear, it's LCID, electric automaker, right? Before Lucid was Lucid, it was a stock named Churchill Capital,
CCIV.
CCIV. Now, CCIV was a money printer. No other way to put it. You put money in CCIV, especially options. You opened up calls, and you're making more money than you've ever seen in the shortest amount of time you've ever seen. So I'm just throwing money in there.
What was it trading
1,000. What's that?
What was it trading at? What was the price?
The price was at I got in at $8, and I went out the money $10 calls, and during that week, I'm making every trade 2,000, 3,000. I mean, the percentage wise, I'm doing 300% trades with my eyes closed on accident with zero technical analysis. It was literally just on a green Hulk candlestick. Let's just call it a Hulk candlestick for now. We know what we like to call it, right? But I mean, it was as green as can be. Every single trade, 200-300%. So I'm getting confident, right?
Yeah.
I'm building momentum, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm making 2,000 and another 2,000, so it's flipping. Let's do 10. So I do 10. 10 becomes 20. 20 became 40. All right, and there's still rumors of a merger happening with Lucid. It's out there. It's a SPAC. All right, SPAC. You guys can do research on that later. But what it means is there's a merger coming. It's on the horizon. Well, as a trader, you're thinking, okay, well, that only means one thing. It's going to go up. It's going to continue to go up. We're going to see 80 before we ever see 10 again. Mm-hmm. So I've got my swings they're printing. I've got my intraday trades they're printing. So that day, I decide, okay, I'm going to go into my large. So far, I'm up like, I don't know. Within a span of 2 days, I'm up like 27,000. All right. And I'm telling you, when I say how much work it took me, no chart, no charting, no technical analysis. Just I pressed a button and my money doubled. And I pressed another button and my money doubled. So I'm at plus 27,000 just pressing buttons.
You had the conviction though.
And I'm working my 9-to-5 corporate job.
Yeah.
There was a huge social media hype behind that.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember I was training it also.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is before I knew Dimitri, right? We're just locked in like that. And so I'm up plus 27. All right. I'm like, okay, well, one thing I already see some of these big guys do is they say, well, I'm green on the trade. There's no way I can go red. So just use your profits. They call it, it's free. Just use your profits, right?
House money.
It's house money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm up plus 27. I'm like, well, let's throw 20 on this one. My next one, I'm about to play calls. Let's throw 20 on it. There's no way I can go red, right? So I put about 25,000 on it. I add a little on top. So I'm already going against my game plan. I told myself in my mind, put 20,000 in it, 20K. I put 25 in there. I lose it within a blink of an eye. The quickest, fastest red candle I've ever seen with the largest percent. I think someone out there watching this, if somebody's watching this, I'm sure that they can do the research. But I'm not sure if I've seen a faster drop aside from COVID. I'm not sure if I've seen a faster non-news drop. And Trump owned the largest. Shares. He had the largest holding of CCIV out there, and so back when Trump was pumping the market, you couldn't lose, right? Especially SPY. And so CCIV just fell off a cliff to 15 from 38, and I made my money. It just so happened in that account that day, I was in my mom's account. I had just seen her for dinner the night before. And I like to go over there about 2-3 times a week. And I was just told her, I was so happy. I was like, Mom, I'm printing money. This is insane. It's like falling from the heavens. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, well, you got me? I was like, yeah, I got you. No worries. So I go in, 25,000 of her money. Just fell off a cliff, disappeared, just dissipated in thin air. Then it went down to 18. It jumped back to 27. So I thought I'm okay. So I didn't get out. Because it goes back up. It went to 27. I was like, oh, we're going to recover. That was just somebody liquidating. Mm-hmm. It was what we know about as a liquidity sweep. Yeah. Well, that's just a liquidity sweep. Yeah, it's going to wipe out majority of my gains, but it'll go back up. It went to 27. From 27, it fell even harder down to 10.
Oh, my God.
So her entire account, I think her account size was 27,000. It just vanished. Literally, we're down to like $800. I obviously paid her back, but so it came out of my pocket. But the damage that it did to my mental, mm-hmm. I still think about it sometimes. It really narrowed down the tickers I do play now. And the damage it did to not our relationship. Obviously, Mom's always going to love you, but just, you always want to, especially as a foreigner, you want to make your parents proud. Yeah. Like I said, I mentioned earlier is that, like coming into this country, like they made great sacrifices. So just the damage it did there is like I was wanting to show her how good I'm doing, right, on this Wi-Fi money. Yeah. And showing her like, I didn't have to be a doctor to be successful. I didn't have to be a lawyer. Yeah. And then her money just vanishes. And then I know she's thinking it. She'd never say it, but she's like, oh, I knew it was all gambling. I knew it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that was I wanted you guys to feel every moment. I hope I did a good job of that. But yeah,
you made my stomach drop.
I know, I feel sick right now. Just
and so what ended up happening from a technical standpoint was Trump exited his complete holding. He exited, right? So that's what the first drop was. When it pumped back up, everybody like me was either staying in or getting back in, thinking that I can get in at a lower price. Then the merger was announced. And since the merger was announced, everybody jumped into LCID. Just CCIV vanished. Literally down to zero. You never see that.
Really?
Yeah, vanished.
Holy shit.
Yeah, moral of the story, they don't want you to get in when you think it's going to get in.
No.
Yeah,
They want you to get in when it's already done.
exactly.
So you lose all your money.
Sure.
That's how I like learned along my years. Like, why am I never winning a trade? It's like I was always a step behind. So like these mergers, all of the social media hype and everything. So yeah, it's all about timing the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like when did you figure out like what works the best for you? How long were you really trading for? 5 years at least?
At least. No, I've only been profitable for the last like 4 years. But I was always made money, but it was always big losses. Like actually becoming profitable where I could feed myself, feed my family.
Yeah.
And you know what traders don't realize is another key component of becoming consistently profitable, withdraw your profits. It's not real until it's realized. And the only way you get a realized P&L is withdraw the profits.
Yeah.
Put it into your bank, and now it's actual real money. Otherwise, it's just all a video game still.
Pay yourself. That's what I wanted to touch on. A lot of people they're so focused on building their account. I want a bigger account. Guys, you have to pay yourself. That you have to pay yourself. I don't care if you made $400 for the week. Take out $150. Pay yourself, because then you're going to start respecting money. You're going to start respecting the time you're putting in to your craft at trading, right? When you actually get something in return for what you're doing, you'll learn to appreciate it more and take it more serious. If you have $5,000 account and you're trying to get to 6, okay, I want 10. I'm not going to pull it to 10. You get to 10, you're like, I'm not going to pull it to 12. The market's going to take it. Pay yourself as you go. You don't need to just keep trying to build up your account to be the biggest it can. Always pay yourself, even if it's a little bit of money. Like, make it so you can actually see what the fruits of your labor. Something. If it's a nice dinner out, you know what I mean? You had a good week, go for a nice dinner out, or go on a vacation somewhere if you make a little bit more. And always pull out, man.
Yeah, I like the way you just said respect money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people towards the end, especially like when it hits 3 o'clock, 3:30, they have those YOLO plays. They'll like YOLO like a couple $100.
Yeah.
That's just disrespecting money.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta
100%.
respect every single money, like to the dollar that you make, because once you start disrespecting it, you're gonna go on a frenzy and lose everything.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't universities offer to everybody? We're not talking about like grants and stuff, scholarships. Why don't universities offer free medical programs to become a doctor? Why don't they offer free pre-law programs to become a lawyer? There's a reason for that. Is because these are our highest paying professions, right?
Yeah.
And so same concept works here. Is, you know, you pay a small fee and you learn from the best, and you start becoming profitable. And then you have someone holding your hand along the way as well. You have us in your corner. How long does it take to become a doctor?
Probably
Depends
8
what
years.
you're going for,
Yeah.
but at least
8, right?
8 years.
Something like
Easy.
At
that.
least,
Easy.
yeah.
How long does it take to become a lawyer?
Probably
6
same
years.
thing, right? 6 years.
You know, and you know what's funny? The general consensus, how long, when people get into trading, how long, thanks to social media, right, and Reddit, how long do you think people assume that they'll become rich from trading?
Off the bat, you know,
A month.
YOLO,
Right?
Yeah, it's your
Right?
first, your
And
first good
isn't
play.
that crazy?
Yeah.
They discredit all of our hard work, right?
Half
Like,
a million a year,
100%.
right? Doctors, surgeons, right? They make like, you know, $500,000, you know, when they're specialists a year. But then people expect to become rich overnight, or, you know, in a month, 6 months. Let's just say 6 months.
Yeah.
Think 6 months. Oh, I'll be rich. I'll be having complete financial freedom. I'll be traveling with Steve and Dimitri.
What about like that starting capital though? You know,
Exactly.
like where's that coming from?
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. I want to thank all the guests for coming today. I honestly appreciate having you guys by my side, man. I could not do anything without you guys, and I appreciate everyone. If you guys would like to be a part of the Discord, a part of the moderators we have here, we live trade every single day. The link is in the bio. And yeah, guys, that's a great podcast. Nice talking to you guys, man.
Until next time, right?
This is what we do off camera, by the way, too. So
At least it's gonna be it's gonna be in our next podcast.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
I can't wait for
100%. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, guys.